Good afternoon, and welcome to UNI TV's weekly live program. I'm Elliot.
And I'm Kinsey. Today on the show, we will cover the visits of presidential hopefuls Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush to Cedar Falls.
We'll also show you a variety of campus activities and organizations you can get involved in.
Right now, from the University of Northern Iowa, this is UNI TV News.
Hillary Clinton was in Northern Iowa last week, speaking in UNI's own Mocker Union. Kinsey Dare has the story.
More than 500 people came out to see Hillary Clinton in UNI's Mocker Union on Monday. Clinton's speech focused mainly on addressing women's issues, such as reproductive rights, violence against women, equal pay, and affordable child care.
I just had a chance to visit with a group of students and faculty, the dean, as well as some others from different colleges and universities about the issue of domestic violence and sexual assault on campus. I did that in part because I care deeply about the issue and am rolling out some policies today that I think would help us move this issue forward so that we would have more comprehensive services for survivors. We would have much more emphasis on a fair process and figure out exactly how we're going to do that. And we would increase prevention efforts.
Clinton also focused on an issue that has not gotten much coverage so far in this campaign: sexual assault on college campuses.
And that leads me to something else we have to do, and that is confronting the epidemic of sexual assault on college campuses across our country. I saw heads nod when I said 1 in 5 women report they were sexually assaulted during college. Just look around you. We were to have 1 out of every 5 women stand up. That would be a pretty big crowd here. Think of the impact on their lives. While they're trying to manage the emotional, the physical, sometimes the educational, financial fallout. They miss classes, some drop out, some never finish their education. Thankfully, this is an issue that is finally gaining the attention it deserves. But it is not enough to condemn campus sexual assault. We need to end campus sexual assault.
Clinton also commended UNI's own fraternities and sororities for promoting sexual assault awareness.
I just had a chance to visit with a group of students and faculty, the dean, as well as some others from different colleges and universities about the issue of domestic violence and sexual assault on campus. I did that in part because I care deeply about the issue and am rolling out some policies today that I think would help us move this issue forward so that we would have more comprehensive services for survivors. We would have much more emphasis on a fair process and figure out exactly how we're going to do that. And we would increase prevention efforts.
It's called the Sexual Assault Awareness Week. It's in April, and we spend a grand portion of the spring semester preparing for this and reaching as many people as we can, raising awareness, because awareness is prevention in a lot of cases. But then we also raise money to give to a local shelter for women that have been sexually assaulted, can inform them and protect them and let them know their rights and such things as well. We work really closely with Alan Heisterkamp and a few other people in his department, and they work with people that are victims of sexual assault as well.
Thanks, Kinsey. For more information about Hillary Clinton, please check the website at www.hillaryclinton.com.
Presidential candidate Jeb Bush hosted a meet and greet at Gravy's Diner in Cedar Falls on Tuesday morning. Reporter Michaela Ayler has the story.
The place was packed on Tuesday morning, each person excited to hear what presidential candidate Jeb Bush had to say about a multitude of topics. Bush spoke on many issues, including education,
8th grade level. The question was, a baseball game starts at 3, ends at 4:30. How long's the game? He couldn't answer it. I mean, that is heartbreaking. This guy, I don't know, 10 years later, 15 years later, what his life looks like, but my guess is that it's not going to, I think he'll have a life of limits, not a life of purpose and meaning. If you can't answer that question after 12 years of being in the K-12 system, something's wrong with the system. Something's not wrong with that kid. Something's wrong with the system, and that's what I saw. These things aren't easy to do. No one had done them before. The idea that kids are functionally illiterate and move on to 4th grade as though something, a miracle will take place. You've got to be on the side of kids and of families that are struggling, not on the institutions around them that aren't changing.
College tuition.
The Department of Education needs to have dramatic reform is in higher education, where you have a $1.2 trillion student loan program that's been taken over by the federal government. Huge forbearance rates, big defaults. It's a problem because our higher education systems haven't reformed themselves. The costs are extraordinary and the outcomes are not good. And students then have debt on their backs, recourse debt. They're basically funding the inefficiencies of our higher education system, and reforming that is hugely important. And there are ways that states could do that, and the federal government ought to be a partner in lowering costs and in increasing the number of people that actually graduate. Just to give you a statistic to show you how serious this is, 60% of full-time equivalent students graduate with a 4-year degree in 6 years in our public universities. So should we call it a 6-year degree and be honest? Or should we figure out a way to get more people to graduate in 4 years so the debt levels don't make it hard for them to even get the first rung of the ladder?
And congressional abuse of powers.
We need a balanced budget amendment so that Washington lives within our means for a change. We need line item veto power or an equivalent of it so the veto Corleone can show up in Washington, D.C. as well to bring order to a budget process. We need to have lobbying reform where elected officials don't go out the back door and start lobbying immediately their former colleagues. There should be a 6-year ban on elected officials lobbying their colleague. And frankly, if elected officials don't show up to work, they ought to have a deduction in their pay just like everybody else does in the private sector.
Bush left with these final words.
But this mission is not about the candidates running. It's about a family that is 1 or 2 paychecks away from having their lives be altered dramatically. It's about a single mom who's worried about their child stuck in a failing school that wants to get to a high-performing charter school in some part of this country. It's about a military family whose loved one is overseas and worries that the sequester will make it harder for them to be safe as they protect us and protect our freedom.
This is Michaela Ayler signing off with UNI TV.
Thanks, Michaela. For more information about Jeb Bush, please check out his website at www.jeb2016.com.
Last Wednesday, UNI Study Abroad Center held a student involvement fair. Mackenzie Brophy has the story.
UNI Study Abroad Center sends hundreds of students around the world every year. I talked to 2 women that play a key role in UNI Study Abroad program.
My name is Paula Van Zeen. I'm the director of Study Abroad Center.
I'm Chris Stragi. I'm the Global Opportunities Coordinator in the College of Business.
International Opportunities Fair. We do it every semester, but the biggest one that we have is every fall, and where we have a table of each program that we have of our Study Abroad program that represent. And we also invite providers, so they also come and promote their programs. So these are all Study Abroad programs for students, for UNI students. We have a lot of programs, and most of our students are interested usually to go to Europe, because we have a lot of programs in Europe. But we have programs in Latin America, in Africa, in Asia. I'm originally from Lima, Peru, and I traveled abroad in the United States and ended up loving it, and that's how I'm here.
I take students, the most prominent place I take students is Nicaragua and Panama, but I do a lot of work around the world. I've been on every continent. I can't say I have a favorite, except for if I'm feeling unloved, I go to Brazil because they love and kiss and hug everybody down there. And, but the world has a lot of great opportunities and things for people to learn from.
Please visit our office. We're at Gilchrist 28. We're right next to public safety, and we have also a lot of sessions throughout the semester, and they're also welcome to come and schedule an appointment with one of our advisors just to learn about other opportunities, about study abroad opportunities.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Looks like a lot of fun. For more information, please visit studyabroad.uni.edu, or you can call 319-273-7078.
Now it's time for some PSAs. Let's take a break.
We'll be back. In the next section, we will take a look at Panther sports.
For learning.
Please stay with us.
That can lead to successful job opportunities in the future. However, the education you need cannot be gained simply by going to class. Joining Cedar River Productions is the best way for you to get hands-on experience and one-on-one help with technology that will be crucial for your future. This is your chance to get ahead of other students by gaining knowledge about new technology. You'll be given all the opportunities to turn your ideas into reality and fine-tune your skills and abilities along the way. Make the most of your college experience. Become a member of Cedar River Productions.
Welcome back. Let's go to our sports anchor, Ian Shilhanick.
Through the first 2 games of his NFL career, former UNI Panther football standout David Johnson has taken the league by storm. 2 weeks into his career, Johnson has already returned to kick for 108 yards, rushed for 51 yards, and has a rushing touchdown. He also has a 55-yard receiving touchdown, making him the first rookie to score all 3 ways in their first 2 games, and ensuring himself his game jersey, his cleats, an enshrinement into the Canton Hall of Fame. We hope that this is a start to a great career. Go, DJ. The Missouri Valley Conference is to be featured on ESPN3 this year and for future years after a recent deal. Here's some info on that contract. The Missouri Valley Conference signed a 10-year deal with ESPN3 for television rights this past year. I spoke with Steve Schofield about the specifics of that deal.
The conference office had been working with ESPN for, I think, a couple of years as our contract was up for renegotiation on the linear television side of the house, and we were able to add the ESPN3 portion to the league deal, which is a huge boon, I think, to all of our sports programs, especially, I think, volleyball, women's basketball, and eventually down the road, soccer, softball, and some of our other sports that maybe haven't gotten as much exposure in the past. So it's a league-wide deal that it's just one of the benefits, I think, of us being a part of the Missouri Valley Conference that we're going to be able to take advantage of.
I also asked Schofield how this deal helped UNI. This is what he had to say.
First and foremost, it's exposure for the programs, like I mentioned. The more platforms that we can get on, especially that are branded ESPN, given every sports fan and every American really their knowledge of and connection to ESPN, I think that's only a positive for the university. And I think there's a huge academic upside as well, given the fact that we're going to need a lot of bodies and a lot of talented people to pull off these productions. And we really are hoping to continue and expand our partnership with the academic side of the house in terms of getting students that have an interest in broadcasting and production some much needed experience with this kind of a contract and with this kind of a production.
When asked what their goals were for the deal, Schofield had this to say.
I think in year one, it's to get a finely tuned machine, both in the Dome and McLeod, in terms of televising the sports that compete in those 2 venues. And then I think long term, it's going to be about expanding it out to soccer, out to softball, swimming, and West Gym for wrestling, and so on and so forth. So, we're going to be contractually obligated to broadcast and produce 80 events a year. So we're going to ramp it up over time. We don't have the technological capability to do it at all of our venues yet, but we're working towards that. And we have a lot of built-in advantages in these buildings given the investments that we made in the production room and the video boards a year ago. So we feel like we're really, really up and running in these 2 buildings, and over time, expand it to those other programs and expand the academic connection to this, because it's going to continue to create a lot of opportunities for students that have an interest in going into this as a career.
The terms of the deal were for 10 years, but for UNI it wasn't just about the money. It was about a branding and a partnership with ESPN to tell the story of not just our school, but the entire Missouri Valley Conference. This is a great opportunity for students to get involved and gain professional experience. Contact Eric Braley at eric.braley@uni.edu for more information about being a part of the ESPN crew. The UNI tennis team has been working really hard in these past few years. Their hard work has resulted in a lot of new records within the last few years for the UNI Panthers. Astrid Araya has brought us the story.
My name is is Ike Stroband. I became a member of the UNI tennis team in the fall of 2013. My major is global marketing, and I am a singles and doubles player on the UNI tennis team. My record last year was 24-9, and I hope to even improve that record this year. And I also hope to finish on a higher spot than we did last year in NBC conference, and maybe make some new history with the tennis team.
My name is Chris Segers, and I'm the head women's tennis coach for the UNI Panthers. I was on the men's tennis team at UNI from 1995 to 1999. Online records from our library date both the men's and women's teams dating back to the 1940s. At the conclusion of the 2002 season, the men's and women's tennis programs were cut from the athletics department. However, in late June of the same year, the women's tennis team was reinstated to meet Title IX requirements. The women's tennis team has been competing ever since. The highest conference finishes in recent years for the Panthers has been second place in both 2005 and 2009. Also, the Panthers have had two athletes named Conference Player of the Year, Phoebe Walker in 2013 and Erica Medlin in 2015. This year, the Panthers are coming off a third-place finish from last year and returning 6 players from that team. Returning all but 1 player from last year's team should serve well for the experience of the Panthers tennis team.
Reporting for UNI TV, Astrid Araya.
Thanks, Astrid, for that interesting story. Don't forget to go and support the UNI tennis team during their spring season at the Blackhawk Tennis Club in Waterloo. For some people, it's esoteric and dull. For others, it's a thrilling spectacle. We're, of course, talking about esports. Avon Helgerson has the story on the DreamHack esports tournaments.
This Sunday marked the end of DreamHack London's 2015 Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament. Envious took first place along with $20,000, followed by TSM, who won $6,000 for second place, and Dignitas and Copenhagen Wolves got $3,000 for third and fourth place. With the end of DreamHack London comes the wait for DreamHack Stockholm, which will be held today and tomorrow, and is focusing on StarCraft and Counter-Strike. For more information, you can check out DreamHack Stockholm's website at www.dreamhack.se. For UNI TV, this has been Avon Helgerson.
Up next, we're going to talk about the UNI Career Fair, Northern Ireland, and KOLT Radio. But first, we'll take this quick break.
Computer science program that was shown to me really showed a lot of value that I would gain and a lot of knowledge I would gain for a future prospect.
Still a half an hour. University of Northern Iowa is pretty well known from where I came from. What are the environments that they are able to provide students, conducive area for us to optimize our learning skills and our campus experience.
When I came to the US, I thought I was going to be with only American students, but no, there are a lot of other different cultures too. So I got to learn both about the American culture and also other different cultures.
Mocker Union is another place that I would really like to be. It's always filled with people, it's always filled with excitement for me. It's a place where you can talk, you can have fun, you can eat, you can do just about anything.
You do a lot of learnings inside the classroom, but then there are other hands-on learning experiences that are easily available.
UNI is a home itself to me because the people here and the community itself is warm and welcoming. Friends that I met through ISA and ISB, they are part of my good friends.
I have made a lot of friends and my social interactions with UNI and its community have really grown.
International students have thousands of different choices when they look to study in the US. But I tell the students that if they're looking for an environment where they're going to be able to have 90 different majors to choose from, they're going to be able to have out-of-classroom, extracurricular experiences, and they're going to be able to make connections and friends here in the community, that UNI is a perfect choice for them.
Welcome welcome back again.
There were a lot of handshakes and resumes thrown around on Monday, as over 1,000 students visited the career fair, so I went over there to check it out.
Students got a glimpse into the future on Monday when they visited the UNI Career Fair in the McLeod Center. Freshman through senior had the chance to talk with 200 different employers and get their name out there. Students also inquired about possible internships, which are required by most majors. Not only is this great for the students, but it also helps out employers greatly in finding good prospective employees. All in all, it was a successful day for everyone involved. For UNI TV, I'm Elliot Eggleston.
Looks like students got a great jump start to their careers.
They really did. I was pleased to see how many students went over and took the great opportunity that they had in front of them. For more information, please contact the UNI Career Service at www.uni.edu/careerservices/events.
The Northern Iowan is a student newspaper that provides students the opportunity to gain journalism experience and their readers the chance to see news stories from a student perspective. Here is Ryan Herring with a story.
I had the chance to speak with Northern Iowa editor Hannah Gibbs while she explained the process of producing the school paper and her large role in doing so.
I'm Hannah Gibbs. I am the managing editor for the Northern Iowan. So as the managing editor, I lay out all the papers. I also work with the advertisements. I'm in a direct contact for the advertisers. Along with that, I'm also the editor for the online paper. So anything you see on our new website is something I do. We publish twice a week, so Mondays and Thursdays. So usually on Mondays, I upload the paper online, and then I start on the next issue's layout. So it all starts out with me. I lay every paper out, I decide what paper in color. If we have a lot of ads, we usually go up to like 12 pages instead of 8. And then from there I send it off to the editors. Usually the editors are constantly working on writing the articles, but then they don't ever place them in the file until like usually Wednesday night when the paper goes to press. And then that whole process starts all over again, usually Friday or even Thursday.
Here in the Cedar Valley, we have a variety of newspapers we can read, but the Northern Iowan gives you a unique perspective.
I personally read the Northern Iowan because it was from a student point of view rather than like your CNN or your Fox or even the Waterloo papers. I mean, it's more aimed towards the student, so it's a little, well, I like to say, dumbed down, and it's in a college student's vocab. And it also has like articles that happened around campus that no one else is going to get. I believe was a famous newspaper writer always said that the best news to get is the ones that are written locally.
Reporting on our very own school newspaper, Ryan Herring with UNI TV.
Thanks, Ryan. Be sure to pick up a paper every Monday and Thursday. They can be found in Mocker Union and all throughout campus. You can also visit their website at www.northern-iowan.org.
The university radio station, KULT, started up this week. David Taylor has a story.
Located under Mocker Union, KULT is UNI's campus radio station. It is staffed entirely by students. I talked with one of those students, Samantha Fickett, the current general manager.
My name is Sam and I'm an electronic media major here at UNI. I am a senior and I'm a double major within electronic media. I do media leadership and electronic media production performance. I am currently the GM for KULT, our school's radio station. We have 6 directors this year. We have Olivia Gans, who's program director, Allie Bear, who's the marketing director, Sydney Hauer, who's the music director, and then 2 web directors, Jake Swayze and Matt Dorr. KULT is UNI's low-power radio station. It's run by the students for the students. We have a lot of different programs going on. We do like news, talk, Wildcard Wednesdays, where it's like a mix of different music. I do New Music Mondays, where I just play a lot of new releases. And this year, we're really trying to brand ourselves as KULT and have our own events. Before, KULT did a lot of DJing for on-campus fraternities and sororities and different like groups throughout the community. And so this year we want to host like our own events. We're teaming up with a couple other student groups to do a KULT like homecoming tailgate, and we also MC all the homecoming events, as well as dance marathon fundraisers, And we're also trying to do like kind of like a fun Friday where we play music outside of the union, just so that we can like up our listeners and kind of just get KULT's name out there other than just DJing for other people. If you haven't already, you could follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, or check us out on Instagram. All you have to do is search 94.5 KULT. We do have a live stream. You can find that on our website at www.uni.edu/KULT. That has information on all our DJs. You can request a DJ for an event and listen live, like I said before. If not, just tune in to 94.5 KULT.
For UNI TV, I'm David Taylor.
Thanks, David. Again, you can listen live online at www.uni.edu/KULT.
Electronic media students have a lot to look forward to as the year begins. Production classes start up and they can once again network with students and industry professionals. UNI's Fast Forward Workshop is one of the first opportunities that students have to network with professionals in their field. Here is Chris Domer on more on this year's Fast Workshop.
On a regular day, Lang Hall is filled with all kinds of students going from class to class. Lang Hall itself is mainly host to UNI's Communication Studies Department. One day a year, however, electronic media majors as well as video production students from across Iowa take over Lang Hall to learn from industry professionals. With the ability to attend 3 workshops, listen to a keynote speaker, and network with those professionals as well as other students, you can learn a lot in just one day at UNI's Fast Forward Workshop. I attended the Fast Forward Workshop last year. It was a great experience getting to hear from professionals in the media world. I heard from Eric Bailey. He talked about sports production and what that industry is like currently. I heard from a couple of documentary filmmakers who were out of Washington, D.C. Got to hear about editing in that environment, in that industry, as well as documentary part, actually shooting and how to get the best out of your subjects and all these different tips and tricks in that industry too. The keynote speaker last year was a lady in the media and radio communications world who talked about how radio and communication on that level isn't just one single communication anymore. It's things like radio combined with media, social media, video, sorts of things like that, to where you're using multiple platforms to send the same message and whatnot. So that was a good talk as well. This year's looking to be another great year. A variety of workshops and people in those workshops. I'm mostly excited about the post-production and visual effects people that are coming, because that's a big interest of mine that I want to hear from professionals about. There's also news people this year and communications people as far as companies and advertising and just general communication that way. It's on Friday, October 16th this year, so I got that date in my calendar already. I'm ready, good to go. Take a break from classes and hear from media professionals in all sorts of industries and hear their insights on what to do and what not to do, and how they could maybe even hire you one day. So it's a great day to network, a great day to hang out with other students and just do media for that whole day. Register online through UNI's Comm Studies Department. There's a link on the Comm Studies page to the Fast Forward Workshop, and from there you can fill out the form and sign up that way. It's going to be a great day. I'm excited about it, and I look forward to seeing all you video production enthusiasts there that day.
Once again, this year's Fast Forward Workshop will take place on Friday, October 16th, 2015. Registration starts at 8:30 a.m. in the lobby of Lang Hall, with the first workshop session starting at 9. For more information, please check out the website at www.uni.edu/comstudy/fastforward or call 319-273-2217.
Alrighty, that's all we have for today. If you're interested in the programs provided by UNI TV, be sure to visit us online to explore the other programs that we provide. This is Elliot.
And I'm Kinsey. Thanks for watching, and stay classy, Cedar Falls.